before we get into the actual reaction here, let everybody know your experience with the Last of Us franchise and stuff.
So I, like most people, played the very first video game. Absolutely loved the story. And there's not a lot of video games that I revisit and play a lot, like repeats or anything. This game I have played multiple times. I never played the sequel because I just heard a lot of kind of rough things about it, and I really like Joel's character, so I was like, I'm just gonna. How it ended is perfect as it was in the first one. And then I did watch the series as well, which I thought was okay. It could have been better, but I don't think it was the worst thing in the world. But it had its good moments and it had its rough spots too for modern day stuff. But it was all right.
I gotcha. Yeah, for me, mostly the pacing on the last episode, I feel was kind of the worst for how that was paced and how they're showing it. I wish there was more grit to that episode, but they showed it like a montage, and I was kind of like, I don't know, it's not hitting me the same.
It took
he's killing them, but I want to see more impact of this and like a little more grit to the fighting with this. Like, he is not going to let them go, but he was just like on easy mode, it felt like.
It took all the emotion and everything out of it by kind of doing the scene that way. So like I said, coming out of HBO and seeing some of their amazing series, Deadwood, Sopranos, The Wire, this falls flat a little bit in regards to that, and I think they just had a couple missed opportunity compared to the game. But
but I mean, but on the last episode, they did good, I think, at the intro, like having the actress who played Ellie in the games be the mother of Ellie in this, and she's pregnant, trying to get away from a zombie and whatnot, and it bites her right before she kills it, and she's got her baby out with the thing, but it's still attached, and it's like just enough time, I think. Even for like casual audience members, that's good enough to, explain the immunity thing. It's not fully infected the baby in any way, but there's enough of the, I don't know if you want to say residue of it or something that is in there. Kind of like if you're given a disease to fight the disease or something, like that sort of logic. Okay, that kind of makes enough sense, I guess. But what'd you think? The most controversial episode, I think, is probably number 3. Which is like, I can totally see how people view it as like they're just wasting your time with it, but I like me just seeing that episode and then the whole season in context, like it was kind of like, at least there were some people that were able to kind of deal with, like, they're able to live a somewhat civilized life on their own for a little bit, and I thought that was good to see. It didn't come off as giving a message of any kind. It was just like two dudes. They're the last people around, the last people on Earth, technically, whatever, just like hanging out, just occupying their time.
I agree.
Kinda,
like I didn't mind the episode so much with like kind of like you said, messaging, none of that stuff. Yeah. I just thought the placement of doing that was odd because if you were, I'm assuming you played the video game as well.
I haven't actually.
Okay.
But I grew up with the Xbox, so I did not have the game, unfortunately.
So the level where you meet Bill and all that, they could have they left out a lot of good opportunity of great storytelling and action that they could have pushed, and you would have really connected with Bill a lot more if they were able to showcase that in the show. I think ideally what they should have done is if they kind of introduce those characters in that sense, how they did in the mission level in the game, and then made this kind of like a little mini short after the series, I think would have been beautifully done, because how they were building up like those first initial episodes, and then you just kind of hit this like slow down, kind of took you out of the pacing of building up.
People getting into the hype were kind of it has you off guard a bit of like,
they hit the brakes and took everything out of what they were building to. And then, to come to find out that, the reveal is Ellie and them stumble upon them while they're already gone. It just kind of, I don't know.
If I could fix it, I think I'd have the episode be as it was, but, I'd honestly want it to be as it was, but add an extra 20 minutes. I mean, some episodes are longer, some episodes are shorter in the season anyway. And, but have that be like, maybe they're being attacked by raiders in their older age, and some of their traps are failing because power, or their people are finding ways around it, whatever. They drive like a car into it and mow it down or something, and so they're trying to fight while one is sick and injured, and like it's not going well. And maybe they end up like killing the raiders, but they're both kind of dying here. And then
Yeah.
Joel and Ellie walk up like right just after this, what they just missed it, like, you know, maybe minutes ago or something, or the previous day. And it's like, oh man, like, you know, like, what if you could have? And then it's what's left, no note, whatever. You just see that they just got, you know, killed as their time. We get to see them develop like that. And the, you know, or maybe even like when they showed the Raiders attack the first time, like have there be some of the tension with that grow their bond a little bit better, so that it's like, you know, the one that isn't used to fighting has to do some stuff that is more gross, like with treating his medical thing. That's good. That's one aspect that's good. But then there could have been a little bit more with that to increase the tension, increase the engagement of the audience, while still keeping the feeling they're trying to give there, I think.
Yeah, because like, I 100% agree. Seeing that, like, an attack like that, and even doing it as if they survived the attack, but they have the conversation afterwards, like, hey, we barely survived this. How long can we keep this up with you being sick? And then maybe them making that ultimate decision together to still take themselves out of it.
Yeah,
that's not bad. But yeah, we needed that extra tension level. We needed to see more of them doing apocalyptic things than just kind of living this luxurious life in this, you know,
town. Yeah, I would have liked to see more problems they have to overcome in their thing, if anything. Yeah, and maybe having other people they have to interact with and either push away or they try to let in, or like, you know, kind of not okay with, some other type of drama in a way to have that happened would have been fine with me. And then having Joel and Ellie, I'm still okay with them being separate from it, but then coming in at the end. And, you know, we saw this, we, you know, even saw their flashback. Maybe, I don't know if they'd come in like when it's all over, like you said, or if they should come in during it. I feel like when it's over, it's more impactful for the emotion to settle in for Joel and stuff. But anyway, freaking love. Overall, I still love the show. Like,
it wasn't bad.
Even some of its small parts. A lot of people hated the Karen or whatever, the Kathleen.
Captain Karen.
A lot of people didn't like that she was the leader of that place, but honestly, I don't understand the problem with that, because they're like the government essentially was ruling over that harshly for the longest time. Brother is betrayed. Her brother was looked up to by everybody in the thing, was like leading this rebellion, sort of. He gets betrayed by somebody and killed. They're all sparked to, you know, rise up and overthrow. She's got the most passion connected to it and is just doing kind of what they want to do anyway, but she's voicing it. And then she's only in charge for like not even 2 full weeks, and they're looking for any betrayers and stuff. And then her decisions kind of got them all killed anyway. Like, they didn't even last 2 weeks with her in charge. So it's like, that just kind of makes no sense to me. It's like,
I understand some of the sentiment and kind of like her right-hand man was just like, you know, really seems like a very well-knowledgeable military type guy. And I guess if they're looking at it from a realistic aspect, they're like, all right, this guy's probably not going to let her be in charge. But they did allude to that they were sort of a couple. They had you know, some type of feeling with each other. You know, I don't remember the guy's name. Right. So if they maybe leaned into that a little bit more, it would have made a little bit more realistic sense. Like, okay, he's obviously going to allow her to be in charge because he cares about her.
Well, but I mean, guys like that could also just want to be told what to do and do it. I'm good at doing my job, but I don't want to figure out the whole game plan of what we're all going to do next. So point me and I'll shoot it. Like that could also be that kind of guy.
Oh, they're definitely, I'm prior Marine Corps. There are definitely guys like that. It's like, well, hey, I don't want to make decisions. You just tell me what I need to do, and I'm just going to be that soldier ant, and that's it. So
I mean, to me, it's kind of like with Ellie, how like I think she's gay in the series. I'm not sure. She's gay.
That's what she turns out. Yeah.
Right. And it's like a lot of people think, well, it's post-apocalyptic. People wouldn't be gay. And it's like, well, no, I don't know about that. Because it's like,
I don't think that matters.
Well, everybody like puts it in the context of every person would try to do things that benefit mankind, kind of. And it's like, no, people are selfish to the end for the most part. Sometimes you might do something mostly to feel better about it, or you might specifically be one that would put the world above it. But Joel is one who definitely will not put the world above it, as we see him risk everything to save her, even though they wanted to, you know, kill her to save what they think would save mankind. It's like, you know, he's like, I'm not risking that. No, I like her. You're not doing that.
I mean, pretty much every apocalyptic movie out there is all based on that. The Road, the show The Walking Dead, right? You have all that selfishness that comes into play. It's like, I don't, it's about me and me surviving, not about mankind.
But that's what makes you human, kind of.
Yeah.
That's the personal connections, it's our tribalism, sort of.